We're going to take a look at how Betsy DeVos' plan for Title IX might change things on campus for you.
Also, we'll tell you about the impacts of Trump's plan for DACA.
Coming up next, we're going to see some new technology that's making waves in Dalton Hall.
Welcome to Winthrop Close Up. I'm Whitney Taylor.
And I'm Brianna Kilgore. Talks of Betsy DeVos changing Title IX has Winthrop campus talking. Our own Kevin Uso has the report.
Standard for evidence should be preponderance of evidence. And in judicial hearings on college campuses, clear and convincing had been the standard of evidence. So when you compare clear and convincing to the preponderance of evidence, it's much lower.
Last week I talked to Dean Marlowe to get her opinion about the Title IX changes that are coming up. Last week they were just a potential change. This week, they're reality.
That worries me a lot, actually. I would like to think that my specific college campus is pretty safe, but I do know that there have been incidents within the last 2 years that I've been here specifically.
These changes to Title IX are actually very important for two reasons. Number one, it changes the standard of evidence from preponderance of evidence to clear and convincing. And number two, it makes it so that victims in sexual assault cases can no longer appeal not guilty.
I think it can be really challenging because going through that is already a lot. So any pushback you get from the government or whomever you're accusing people to, I think it makes it even harder to speak out. So
these changes are to be implemented immediately, but one good thing is that while the government may set the standard, schools can set a higher standard for Title IX violation regulations if they feel it is appropriate. This is Kevin Ausu for Winthrop Close Up.
With a lot of impending changes coming up, everyone here at Winthrop Close Up will make sure to keep you informed.
President Donald Trump announced that the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrival, also known as DACA, established by the Obama administration in 2012, will be rescinded over the 6-month period. It is estimated that around 800,000 people live and work in the United States under the DACA program. Those under the program, also known as Dreamers, came illegally to the U.S. in search of the American dream. The program has allowed them to attend school and get work permits. That future is now at stake with Trump's plan.
These, to a large part, are young men and women who are bright, who are educated, who have good jobs. So to uproot them and have them have to leave the country would be a tremendous personal hardship and burden on them, of course.
There will be a large loss in the economic output because we will be losing a large number of trained workers. The majority of the DACA applicants come from North or Central America, with more than 600,000 applicants coming from Mexico. The DACA applicants cannot receive state financial help or benefits from unemployment at the same time when they have to pay taxes. This begs the question if they are contributors or burdens to the American society, both economically and culturally.
With all of this controversy coming from Capitol Hill, students may want to protest. Our very own Sydney Women takes a look at how you can express your free speech.
In the United States, free speech is considered the ability to speak about any topic without fear of retribution. This allows its citizens to speak out against a myriad of issues, including the ability to criticize the government.
You can't have a democracy without having an informed citizenry. That's the whole point. The citizens are able to make the decisions about who they want to lead them.
It's my vision.
But in order to accurately identify those leaders and evaluate those leaders, the citizens need information, and that information comes from freedom of press and freedom of speech to criticize those leaders as well.
The area in front of Burns Auditorium is one of Winthrop's designated free speech spots. People not from the university have come before to speak to the students.
There was some random preaching going on, and some would come and heckle back at the preacher or whatever, and so you had an interchange of free speech ideas. But at some point, the university has designated free speech zones.
American citizens can say whatever they like within the constraints of time, place, and manner restrictions.
An example of unprotected free speech would be shouting fire in a crowded area. I'm Cindy Whitman, Winthrop Close Up.
Contact campus police or the student center to learn how you can apply for a permit for a free speech area.
What's new this fall here at Winthrop? A new training style at the West Center that makes working out fun.
Also, we asked students what they think of the new iPhone X. Welcome back to Winthrop Close Up. This fall, there's something new for everyone. At the West Center, students can get fit with a friend. Reporter Josh Rogers weighs in.
The West Center is taking personal training to a whole new level with a new concept to Winthrop called buddy training.
Now we have something where if you and your roommate, or if you're just not as comfortable in the gym as one of your friends, or you just need someone to kind of keep you going, you'll be able to come and do personal training one-on-one with your friend for $7 per person per session.
Buddy training gives people an avenue to a healthier lifestyle who don't have the confidence level in the gym to do it by themselves.
Right now I'm in the weight room working out by myself. However, if I had a buddy to work out with, I'll get a lot more motivation to keep going.
The gym can be a scary place, especially if you don't know how to work out or don't have anyone to work out with.
A lot of people feel like there's a lot of pressure on them training one-on-one with someone, especially if they're very new and they don't have an experience. So the buddy training, it allows you to get the attention that you need, but it also eliminates the pressure. It makes it more fun, and if you're with someone that you already know and are comfortable with, it'll make the whole situation more comfortable.
This program is brand new to Winthrop and ready to hit the ground running, so sign up today. This is Josh Rogers, Winthrop Close Up.
Sign up for buddy training. You can find the registration form on the West Center website.
There's also a new addition to the science department. A 3D bioprinter is creating new opportunities for students, and Matt Lee has the story.
Behind me is Dr. Stern's lab, where he and his undergrad students have been working on 3D bioprinting projects. The BioBots 1 is a desktop 3D bioprinter that builds living tissues out of cells, and one now resides in Dalton Hall.
So 3D printing is becoming really popular in the stem cell and regenerative medicine and tissue engineering fields, which is kind of where my expertise is. Not until recently did it become possible, though, for a lab my size to get their hands on a 3D printer or a 3D bioprinter like what we've got.
2 undergrad students spent their summer researching and testing their own bioink.
We're not trying to give you an ear replacement or a bronchi replacement like we printed, but it is just to show that this hydrogel that we made from scratch can be 3D printed.
And we can print out basically like any type of like artery or human structure that we want to, and we can actually implant live human cells, which we just got, into the structure.
These new possibilities and projects open numerous doors for students.
It enables you to ask all kinds of really interesting questions where we can change and tweak different variables to come at some real complex problems from a lot of different angles.
While there will not be any new ears, there will certainly be new developments in Dalton Hall. This has been Matthew Lee, Winthrop Close Up.
With a 3D printer, students will be able to see their work come to life.
Speaking of new technology, students are buzzing about Apple's upcoming release, and they told us what they thought.
It's way better. The display's better. Pretty sure the back is like glass or something, so I guess that's kind of cool.
That it's very expensive, and it's basically like same as my iPhone 7, but it's cooler, so I need to go get it basically.
It's got facial recognition now on the X, I think, and it's really pricey.
I'm not sure what other new features. No buttons. There's no buttons on it. I know that.
This definitely seems like a step in the wrong direction, and I don't know why I skipped 9.
But like, there's people who like love these things, like love these things to death.
I think the price is way too expensive, like $1K for a phone.
And the hype's gonna start going down soon when people realize that Android's doing just as much, so.
That's true, man.
Even with an $1,000 price tag, the iPhone 10 is still expected to have large sales. But Winthrop students may hold off on this one.
Laughter is the best medicine, and we'll see how a Rock Hill Hospice is helping heal the community.
Also, we'll take a look at how yoga is re-energizing Rock Hill. Welcome back to Winthrop Close Up. A Rock Hill Hospice is healing through laughter. Let's see how reporter Peggy Glenn caught all of the smiles.
Every year, the Rock Hill Hospice and Community Care comes together with people throughout the community in order to raise money for their program, as well as giving back to people who have dedicated their time and efforts to the program. This year, the LOL event's guest comedian was Janine Robertson.
This is our 5th annual LOL, which stands for Labor of Love, or if you're into LOL text, laugh out loud. And we bring a humorist here to the community for a night of hope, healing, and humor.
The event took place at the Baxter Hood Center, where hospice provided food, drinks, and of course, a whole lot of laughter for all the guests, along with information about the organization.
That's what I do for a living, and I'm one of the lucky people who has found what I can do for a living to be also my hobby, and that's looking for humor. So it reinforces what I believe in, and there's just nothing like seeing somebody who maybe has some problems at the time or challenges, forget them for a few minutes and laugh.
Janine's message this year for LOL was to be able to find the humor in all that is life. For the people of the hospice team, their mission is to make this difficult time as easy as possible for the families of the patients.
People are here tonight because they support and love hospice and community care. There's not a finer organization who can help families during a very difficult time in their lives.
For more about this organization and their events or ways to donate and volunteer, visit the Rock Hill Hospice and Community Care on Heckle Boulevard here in Rock Hill.
Seems like there were tons of smiles at that LOL event.
Now let's see what other healing is going on in Rock Hill. Reporter Nick Gibson Harper took a trip to downtown Rock Hill for a special class.
That's right, yoga in Fountain Park is a great way to start the day. Everyone that I talked to said that yoga is a great way to get your body and mind in great shape.
Saturday morning at Fountain Park, Rock Hill citizens were able to relieve some stress through yoga. The class was put on at 9 a.m. by instructor Pam Jameson. She talks about how she began her yoga career and also class in the Rock Hill community.
So I began my yoga class years ago, and often when you begin, you practice for a while and then you take breaks. And I just kept coming back to my mat, and the more I would work on and develop my practice in terms of physical strength, then I found just a deeper connection to myself and growth in other areas. And so it was my teacher that kind of planted the seed, the idea that I should look into it.
Patricia Perez Velasco, who is also an instructor, explains her mindset that she tells beginners before they start yoga.
My kind of slogan, if you will, is strong body, flexible mind. So a lot of people go to yoga and think, I'm not flexible enough, when it's not about flexibility, it's about building a strong body. And while building strength, you get flexible, but you don't have to be flexible. So that and focusing on the breath.
Rachel Nazir, who is a frequent yoga class member, explains how yoga can help you.
Every day it'll take you a long way. I've been doing it for like 4 or 5 years, and I'm amazed at like how far I've came. So never give up, keep practicing, and you're never out of shape, wrong gender, or anything like that to ever start with yoga. Some people who can't even walk, they've started doing yoga, and now they're like better than me at it. So
Pam Jameson wants to remind everyone that every Saturday for the remainder of the fall, her yoga classes will be located at Fountain Park.
Now remember, for the remainder of the fall, yoga classes will be located in Fountain Park. Brianna and Whitney, back to you.
Thanks, Nick. Now we'll take a look at a way you can exercise your mind through problem solving. Reporter Matt Lee will teach us about how we can escape.
This is Tony's Bistro, one of 2 possible escape rooms at Mind Games. After Thomas Green took part in his first escape room, he knew he had to be part of the growing craze.
Went and played my first game probably about a year ago. Really loved it, really loved the entertainment industry, and figured it was something that, try to bring some entertainment to Rock Hill, because we always have to go to Charlotte or surrounding cities.
The goal of these escape rooms is for you and a group of friends to find and solve various puzzles that will lead you out of the room.
It was fun. It was really fun. And it was like mind-boggling. It was
super
really
challenging.
Yeah.
Great family time. This is my son, so it was our date night, and it was great.
If you think you have what it takes, come test yourself at Mind Games. Now I'm going to see if I can escape the feds at Tony's Bistro. This has been Matthew Lee with Winthrop Close Up.
You can't take that in there.
Well, that's all for this edition of Winthrop Close Up. Be sure to tell us about your favorite stories from today.
You can let us know on Facebook and Twitter. Come back next week for our all-new edition of Winthrop Close Up. Have a nice evening.